Okay, I'm just going to demo some calc stuff anyway then. I want to show you guys all the good stuff that's been happening.
Oh yeah, I did ask Kathy. She is juggling kids right now, so can't do it herself.
Yeah, fine.
Invited anyone too.
I'm going to forget some stuff, so I'm going to bounce back and forth to this doc. Okay. Can everyone see a tab? So a lot of the work now has been on some of the stuff that is apparently more minor, but is actually really major to the experience. And I'm going to show you just some examples of things that will seem trivial, but are actually really, really big deals. So hold on, let me shrink this so I can. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the first one is like we've talked a lot about null handling and blanks and things like that. And databases don't like mixed column types. They don't like strings and numbers together. But a lot of the work has been on making those sorts of things pleasant. So this is an incredibly common Excel style thing where if we go, if this is less than 20, then empty, else the number. We're just trying to trim rows. Doesn't really matter why. Now it just works. So like in a database, this kind of stuff tends to blow up. And again, this seems really trivial, but it's actually amazing to be able to do stuff like this. If I insert another column, we can say if this equals quote, quote, I think this will work, then 1 else 0. Boom. So now we can actually just start working with the table like it looks. And these sorts of things just make it so accessible to users. So I don't need to really think about, how stuff works, how it doesn't work. One other thing that you might have noticed there, very common in Excel, that when you're typing formulas, you don't finish them. I don't know why, but I found that I actually never put a closing parentheses on things. And now that just works magically. And so like we're picking up a lot of these really small things that you sort of forget. Another one that we had was autocomplete in here was hitting functions. Now it doesn't do that. It will go find columns. And it will even tell you the column that you're hitting as you go do that. So, this isn't going to work anymore because A1 is not quote, quote. But if I want to go put it back to C, it'll tell me exactly what I'm calling. It all just works. So we've done a lot of stuff there. I know there's a whole bunch of other things in here. So like another one that we're going to hit is date comparisons. We tuned up a bunch of formulas. There's more stuff, but just like we're really kind of picking up all those little edge cases and trying to make them amazing. So I think this is like a really great example where now, I can have a time series and I can maybe put another count of, seniors in here. Now I can remove this. Oh, bad demo. But like you can start doing projections into the future now if you want, where I could say, let's see if this actually works. Filter. Oh gosh. Let's just clear this query and restart. There will still be things to fix. But now I can do something like, let's add a filter on here. Age between 0 and 150. I'll go fill this column now. Oh, does it not work? I can't fill. Okay, well, my demo's not going to work very well. Okay, I give up on that demo. Never mind. We'll trim that. I did build a regression in here somewhere, I think.
I may have missed it, but all of those numbers on the screen were between 0 and 150, right?
They are, but I was going to try to fill so I could do something like this.
Okay, cool.
Like these are dates in the future. And I just built this with like calcs essentially. So like this is real data. I built a line that goes into the future. As we start having more calcs, we can start doing kind of more fancy stuff like this. But you'll see like I've got lines down here because we didn't have this yet. And so now you can see this user count is 0. You can actually start, instead of doing this 1 divided by 0, we'll go clean this up now. So now I got blanks down there. And now our chart does something funny. It's not always perfect. We got to go figure this kind of stuff out though. So I guess now it's stored as a string, which makes our charting unhappy.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's going on under the hood with those mixed type columns?
I guess we got to go find out.
I mean, it's gonna it's doing a bunch of type. It's trying to like find the type that will make the SQL work. So yeah, in that case, it found that the type was string, and it made it string, and the SQL was happy. But I guess the viz was not happy.
Okay, but if you mix strings and numbers, you're getting strings out essentially.
Yeah,
which is of course in SQL the only rational answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to trace some of this stuff all the way through to the viz. That was the first time I've tried that. But like it makes the feel of the library completely different, and it really makes it feel a lot more like the types of things that you do in Excel, where you're trying to trim the first 5 rows of a moving average or something like that. It's just so simple now.
Do we already have sort of the obvious second order effect of the mixed typing, which is like if you have a number that is typed as a string, can you do numeric operations on it without?
You can. Let me just, I'll try to do a coercion one right now. Okay, let's make a new tab. I'll grab age. Let's make this equals, I think T makes it text. So now this should be text if I sort it. Okay, yeah, so we can see this is sorting as text and is text. And I can just do things like equals that plus 1. And now we're gonna be back to numerics. And theoretically, this should sort like a numeric, yeah. So it just works. And these are the things that users don't understand, and they don't ever want to understand. They just see a thing that looks like a number and want to do math on it. And it makes a gigantic difference for people when this stuff just works.
Does the date stuff work with this as well, or not yet? Sorry, I meant
the next plan. This is where I would need their help. We can go try right now. I don't think that stuff is ready yet. But the whole idea is we want to be able to do date plus 1, date minus 1, and we want to be able to do when that date equals the thing that we show to you. We can do things like that. So I don't think it's quite there yet.
Yeah, I mean, even being able to jump from text to numbers is like,
so not quite there yet, but we will get date plus 1, date minus 1, date minus date, and then we also need to be able to put them in if statements and have them just work. So that's probably the last piece of stuff that we need to go figure out on the date side.